Joining us now on the MegaCast is the CEO and Chief Investment Officer with Great Lakes Wealth. Dewey Steffen joins us once again on today's edition of the MegaCast. Dewey, thanks for being with us.
Tyler, thanks for having me. It's great to see you.
Good to see you as well. So let's get right into it. Good news that came out today from the Michigan legislature. Actually, late yesterday, they struck a deal on some additional college scholarship opportunities for students here in the state of Michigan, where they could get upwards of $5,500 per student per semester for tuition, which would be a huge help because college is just so expensive, especially today, Dewey. And let's start off by talking about saving for college. When do you suggest that should start for parents and for individuals who may start getting into working age in their teens and be thinking about paying for college down the road?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. And absolutely also great news out of Lansing yesterday. So that's 2 thumbs up for those needy individuals for sure. And to answer your question, it really depends on the household. And the quick answer is as early as you can, right? Start now. That's the easy answer, Tyler. But the real answer is you have to understand in your household where things are currently. We actually tell a lot of our clients, you need to save for your retirement before you save for your child's education. You need to take care of yourself before you can take care of others. So we do say that. So if it's for parents or grandparents, you need to make sure you have yourself set before you start to fund your child's education. But if it's the child or you're there, then it is as soon as you can and understand exactly what you're trying to do and how you do it.
And in terms of utilizing whatever money you are bringing in, if you are a kid and you are bringing in a paycheck from, some part-time work that you're doing in between school or as you're saving up for college, maybe after you graduate high school for a couple of years, you take a step back, try to save some money. What can they do to further bolster the money that they have in the bank and therefore be better equipped to pay for their tuition, pay for some of their loans as they go into college?
Tyler, that's an amazing question also. And for all the young people out there watching now or that watch it, later this evening or whenever, this is so important and so important right now for several reasons. The stock market is way down this year. And if you're investing long term, that will be your friend. And you can also invest in some liquid types of real estate and other things. But also savings accounts, money markets are paying triple what they paid just last year. So they're paying upwards of 3% when they used to pay only 1%. So even if it's just putting it in cash, you can make 3x what you made last year. But I would argue with the stock market, you absolutely have the opportunity to make 10x, 10 times, I should say 10% per annum over a period of time. But to answer your question, the vehicle that I would recommend for those young listeners and young viewers would be a Roth IRA. Put up to $6,000 that you've saved this year with that side hustle or that part-time summer job and fully fund a Roth IRA and do that ASAP.
Some great tips from Dewey Steffen, CEO and Chief Investment Officer at Great Lakes Wealth on today's edition of the MegaCast. You can learn more information and find some of their resources. Get in contact with them on their website, greatlakeswealth.us, greatlakeswealth.us, or call them 248-378-1200, 248-378-1200 for more information. We're about to head into October, and October is financial planning month, Dewey. In terms of financial planning, what are some of those first steps that people should be taking each month or as they're putting together a financial plan for their future to make sure they keep their finances in order and keep their savings in order for future retirement?
Again, another fantastic question. And although October is financial planning month, every month should be financial planning month. So take it that seriously. And to answer your question directly, you need to save, you need to plan first. So plan, save, deal, and then invest. So we'll talk about what planning is, saving is, dealing with, and investing is. But to start it all off, as we always say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And so, Tyler, with that, the first is get a plan. Understand your budget needs for the month, for the quarter, for the year, and understand what goals you're trying to achieve. So everything starts with the plan. And then after that, it's save, the most important thing. And we're seeing it right now with what's happened this year with the markets. And we saw it 2 years ago with COVID. You need to have 3 to 6 months saved, 3 to 6 months of cash of your monthly expenses. So add up your monthly expenses. Maybe they're $3,000 a month. You need 3 months worth. That's $9,000. And you need to put that away in the bank in something safe and liquid, like a money market or savings account. And then after that, you can deal with debt. And Tyler, the question I ask all of our clients or anyone watching your show today is, how can you easily make 24.99% return with all that's going on these days? Well, the answer is pay off that 24.99% credit card. That's an instant 24.99 savings. Amazing. So you've got to deal with debt, restructure debt. It was a lot easier to do a year ago. And when we first came on the show, we talked about it then. These interest rates were so historically low. You've got to deal with debt, bad debt, get rid of it, and restructure it to good debt. And that still hasn't changed. So deal with debt, pay down or pay off your debt. And then after that is invest for success. And there's so many ways to go. I'll take a breath and then we can get more into it.
Yeah, let's dive a little bit further into the idea of good debt versus bad debt. We hear that so often, but defining that for laymen like me can be a little bit more tough. That's why we have experts like you on the show, Dewey. So give us some examples of good debt versus bad debt, and why people want to have a lot of one and some of one and as little of as possible of the other.
Absolutely. So we're going to go back to front. So bad debt, let's start with that. If you are a young person, middle-aged person, or old person, and you take out a credit card with 24.99% interest or whatever the crazy number is, so that you can just go out to dinner, so that you can just go to the local mall or go online and do some shopping, that's bad debt. Live within your means is along those same lines. So don't be borrowing money to go buy things you don't need. Okay. The exception or the opposite of that would be good debt or things that you do need. So if you are in a pickle, which means a precarious situation, and you need something for life or death, then go borrow the money, because life is more important than death, and borrowing can, help you out in a pinch, but you can pay it off. So with those credit cards and lines of credit, they can be used in an emergency. So I didn't say close them out. I didn't say never use them, but don't have those types of expenses on there. Good debt would be home purchase. Even right now, which is unbelievable to me, the 30-year fixed mortgage rate went above 7% the other day, and it hadn't been there, in 15 years, and it was down to under 3% just 6 months ago. So this is the effect that the Federal Reserve raising interest rates is having out there. We can get deeper into that. But any mortgage, if you're going to buy a house, a good fixed mortgage, 7%, I would hopefully try to get better than that and wait that out a little bit. But that is an example of a good debt.
More information can be found, more resources can be found. GreatLakesWealth.us is their website. GreatLakesWealth.us is their website, where you can also find their podcast, the What Do We Do podcast, now in season 3. Dewey is coming back, or it already has come back, and the season has kicked off. What are you planning to discuss in upcoming episodes, and what have you already gone over on the podcast?
Yeah, so we're so excited to announce we just started season 3 of the podcast. What Do We Do? Please check it out on YouTube. Search it and find it on our YouTube channel. We have a website, whatdowedopodcast.com, which kind of summarizes everything there. This is a podcast of love. This is something we created during the COVID pandemic to help our community. And it's a play on my name, certainly Dewey, but what do we do? What do we do to invest for success? What do we do to reduce our debt? All that. So we also decided that if we can bring members of our community in to ask them what they would do, and whether that's specific to their industry, specific to their life's goals and dreams, or how they achieved the success that they've had, we all are the wiser. And so we are so proud. We've had over 15 guests on. We have one show a month with a guest, one without. Season 3, we kicked off about a month ago with Peter Vanderkay, local hero from Rochester Hills. He is a Michigan Wolverine, go blue, who also swam in 3 Olympics alongside the only Michael Phelps. If Michael Phelps wasn't on a team, he would have been the anointed one, but he has 2 gold medals, 2 bronze medals, and he was on to share what it was like getting to that level, but now post Olympic swimming, post being a single man swimming for Team USA and the Wolverines. Now he's a business leader, and hear his amazing journey, and his current situation is fantastic.
GreatLakesWealth.us is the website for Dewey's business, and his podcast, What Do We Do Podcast.com. What Do We Do Podcast.com for more information and to listen to all their past 2 seasons before and now on to season 3, including their first episode of the season that's already out with Peter Vanderkay, 4-time Olympic medalist. With us on the show today is Dewey Steffen. He is the CEO and the Chief Investment Officer at Great Lakes Wealth. Dewey, another couple of minutes before we'll say goodbye today. Anything else that people should be keeping an eye out for in their investments in the markets at this time as we continue to see a lot of fluctuation in the U.S. economy?
Yeah, so simply put, Tyler, don't panic, be patient, and always prepare to profit. In investing, it's always the opposite of the regular traditional world of the thought process. And we call this behavioral finance. Anything else in the world, when it's down and on sale, you would want to go buy it. If you could buy a car half off, you would buy it. If you go to the mall and see something on special 2 for 1, you would go buy it. But when the stock market comes down half, no one wants to buy it. They're scared of it. They just won't even sell it. It's doing the opposite. So we're not saying that the stock market is done going down. You do need to talk to your financial professional about your specific situation. But long term, the stock market has always 100% of the time long term gone up. And so right now, the S&P is down around 25%. So in theory, if it just goes up 10% from here, it's down 15% on the year, and you may make 10% on your money. So again, we actually believe from now until the election, which is early in November, you should be cautious and not aggressively investing. We actually had a second episode of the podcast that we came out with last Wednesday, and we talked about it, our Q4 playbook, Investing for Success in Q4 2022, which starts next Monday. And also we talk about how to prepare for 2023. So with that, again, there are opportunities everywhere. It can be in cash. They do say cash is king. And right now it might be. Bonds were bad, but bonds might be back. We'll talk about that the next time we're on, Tyler. Write that down. Our bonds back, but always invest for success.
What Do We Do Podcast.com for more information, as well as GreatLakesWealth.us. Dewey, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure. Thanks again for having me.